Hello there. You are listening to the Hayley Osborne Show. Welcome back to another episode. I am your host, Hayley, and I am so happy to be in your ears today, wherever you are. And if you are watching this on YouTube, or you are watching any shorts over other social media platforms, I've just had my eyebrows done today. So they have been hennaed and they have been threaded and they are very bold. So if anyone that is listening has that done to their eyebrows, you will know that it is very, very full on when it first gets done until you wash it. And so I'm not at that stage yet, but I was like, it doesn't matter. I need to show up. I need to record a podcast episode. And so here we are, me recording this podcast episode. So if I'm only in your ears, then you know that today I had my eyebrows done and I am feeling fine. So today, let's talk about the quiet power moves that smart small business owners are making right now. Today's episode is smart. I feel it's inspiring. It is no fluff, and I want to shine the light on what's really working. Not the loud, not the flashy, not the trending stuff, but the behind the scenes, so you call it power moves that are actually moving the needle. And I feel like this will be reassuring for you, this episode, if you are not into big, loud noises on your social media. And, I know that a lot of small business owners are not, and we're still building the confidence to show up more loudly. We don't necessarily need to all be dancing and pointing and doing all the things, because I think that is a little bit like a couple of years ago now. But you still need to show up as yourself, and that still takes a bucket ton of confidence. And so I want to welcome you back to today's episode. So I want to peel back the curtain on something I've been noticing a lot lately, and I know that you probably have too. There is so much noise online right now. Big energy, loud marketing. Oh, I think I just kissed my microphone. Lucky microphone. um, Lots of viral trends, lots of constant look at me moments, but I want to take you in a really different direction today. And that is towards the quiet power moves the smartest small business owners are making behind the scenes. They're not flashy. They're not trending, but they're highly effective. So if you've been wondering what to focus on right now, or you're feeling like you're not doing enough because your work isn't loud work, this episode is here to remind you that the most powerful moves, they're often the quietest ones. And a lot of business owners that I work with are service-based business owners, and they're not making massively loud moves, okay? But they are having massive success. And so I wanted to shine a light on that today to hopefully help you along your journey to know that loud doesn't necessarily mean more, and that you don't have to be loud to have a successful business. So the big moves are often the quietest ones. So what is it? Why does quiet not mean invisible? All right, let's start here. So, I think in a world where visibility is pretty much everything, it's easy to think that if you're not dancing on reels, if you're not posting 7 days a week, or you're launching something every single month, you're falling behind. That's actually not the case. I can tell you that right now. Some of the most aligned, profitable, and most sustainable, let's be honest, that's what I'm all about, growth is happening off of camera. Okay. And smart business owners aren't chasing noise. They are building their foundations, and they're getting intentional about their strategy and the stuff that they're doing. And this is the stuff that no one claps for. This is the stuff that happens behind the scenes. And this is the stuff that everyone benefits from. And that's why I want to talk about it today. So here's some of the real behind the scenes moves that are creating a massive impact right now. These are the quiet power moves. So what are some of those things? The first one is business owners, especially small business owners, are doubling down on their email list. Okay. And it's not sexy, it's strategic. And that's definitely a massive power move. It's a quiet power move as well. They're sending consistent emails, they're sending valuable emails, and they're growing their email list intentionally. And what does intentionally mean versus not? So, having every Tom, Dick, and Harry on your email list, but no one is buying from you. And so, intentionally means growing your email list, testing to see if they are in fact, the right audience, by open rates, by launching, by, going to market with something new. And if it's not working, stop what you're doing, reevaluate, reassess, and try something new. Because I think while social media is great, your email list is where conversion actually happens because that's your warm audience, right? And no one can ever take that away from you. It's your own asset. It's not your social media. It's not anything external to you in terms of marketing. You own that. And this is the place where conversion happens. So everywhere else is a cold audience apart from your email list. So these people actually want to hear from you. And you can actually, I encourage you to tidy up your email list, delete those people that have unsubscribed or never opened an email from you because they're not your target audience, okay? That is an unintentional audience. You want people that are intentionally opening up your emails and actually want to hear from you, okay? And that's where the conversion happens. Doesn't matter if you have a small list or not. Small lists are the most powerful and the most mighty because they are the most valuable and they're the people that you want to have in your world that constantly want what you have to offer. So if someone signs up to your email list, they expect to hear from you. We don't give out our emails away for free these days. Okay. When we do, we give it with intention and we expect something in return. So by you not sending emails out regularly to show people that you love and that you care and that you're here and that you're educating them and you're inspiring them and you're entertaining them with what it is that you have to do, it's showing that you care because they've given you their email in exchange for your thought leadership, which is a beautiful thing. And then in turn, that's where conversion actually happens. Number two, business owners are consistently refining their message. Refine, 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 not reinventing it. Okay, so making it better, tweaking it, adjusting this, adjusting that, seeing what works, seeing how that resonates with their audiences. Okay, instead of jumping on the next big offer, small business owners, I find I am helping them with, and I've seen this a lot. Is my message clear? Does it connect with my dream clients? Does my content actually reflect the transformation that I offer? And I can tell you where I started right now, where I started is not what my messaging looks like today because I have constantly evolved and tweaked and measured and tested and changed and tweaked and tested and forever. And so now I am laser focused on my message and how the audience that I help, the problem that I solve, and the transformation that I provide. Okay. It is those three things that you need to test and measure and tweak. Okay. Because it is important that instead of jumping on the next big thing, that you constantly swing back and look in your own backyard and ask yourself those questions. This clarity is definitely where sales, when they come in, start to feel more aligned and start to feel really, really easy. So think about your messaging. The next time you go to do something big, is it aligned with you? And if not, try and refine it, okay, rather than changing your story or moving on. The third thing is, which is a quiet power move, is focusing on community, not just audience. So when I say focusing on community, not just audience, I mean going deeper with relationships, okay? Replying to comments, replying to DMs, replying to emails, okay? That's really important. And asking questions and listening to what people are actually saying because building a community, okay, deeper relationships creates more loyalty and not just reach. So by that, I mean, it doesn't happen overnight. Okay. It's a sustainable way to grow business. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And so you are constantly replying to people's stories that you know that you are, on the same page as, or you think, I think that I could help this person, but you don't want to be icky and salesy. So you actually start to, what figure out what makes them tick and get into their world. Okay, so when you start to build a community and you start to be responsive in a really meaningful way, and I know there is a handful of people in my world that do this so beautifully. And then when you meet them in real life, they're actually the same person. And so if you can be how you are in real life at a barbecue on the weekend, and you are the same person as how you show up on your socials, in your community, the way you respond, it's conversational. It creates so much more loyalty rather than just reach and you are just here for business, because that doesn't necessarily build any kind of longevity or sustainability inside your business. Okay. People buy from people. So try and remember that next time you're conversing on your socials, anywhere really in your marketing, at a networking event. People buy from people and humans love personalities. Okay. No one can ever be you. Don't forget that. So don't try and be somebody that you're not. Continue to show up as yourself, because that is your golden nugget. Okay. What else are quiet power moves that small business owners are making right now? The big one is using AI. Okay, using AI to work smarter and not harder. I'm going to have a sip of my beautiful tea. I absolutely am addicted to herbal teas. I'll have so many different teas. If you ever come over and I make you a tea, I have every single tea there is to ever have in my cupboard. And it's just beautiful. Anyway, we digress. I love tea. So small business owners are using AI to work smarter and not harder. So if you have not started using AI inside of your business, you are missing out, my friend, because things are going to get faster and they're not going to stop. Okay. So if you want to have that beautiful work-life balance, start using AI in a really smart way, not to replace your voice, but to repurpose your content, to brainstorm your ideas, and to streamline your workflow. AI is going to help you every single step of the way. This is something that I've really leaned into, especially with my busy life. It is what it is. There is no way that I could have this successful business and three small children as well, and do it all. I don't claim to be a martyr. I'm not the hero. I have massive amounts of help in my life and in my business, and AI is actually one of them. So I think the smartest business owners are embracing these awesome tools that save so much time without compromising what makes them authentic. Okay. And that's something that I teach those inside of my world in superhero marketing, as well as my one-on-one coaching clients, and what I teach inside my strategy. So if you ever work with me, I'm going to teach you how to use this tool to help you work smarter and not harder. And you don't have to broadcast it to the world. You just have to go about it quietly and use it. Don't copy it word for word. And I've had this before where one of my clients came to me and she was like, Hayley, I saw this other competitor of mine write exactly the same caption as what I did. And I was really, really angry at first. And I thought, oh my God, they copied me. And then it clicked to me that I used AI to write this caption. This is what my client was saying. And I didn't edit it. And so she found herself in a situation where her competitor had done exactly the same thing and they wrote the same caption. Guys, don't do that, because you are going to get caught out and it is not you. Okay. And everyone can sniff that out a mile away. And so you clearly haven't trained your AI to be your helper, to be your assistant properly, okay? Because it should be spitting out more bespoke content than that. And also, you should be editing it to sound like you. So I get a lot of the time whenever I meet people in person, and either it's clients of mine or at networking events. My photographer even said it to me once. He said, Hayley, the pennies just dropped to me. You are exactly the same person as you are online, as your words are on your website, as you are in person. And is this an on purpose thing? And I said, yes, of course it is, because I want to be as human as possible. I love to write. And so the words on my website are all my own. I've written them all, obviously, but I've not, it's just that's who I am. And so, you know, note to self for you is that 99% of people are going to Google you before they pick up the phone or before they book a Zoom call with you, a discovery call with you. Uh, Always. Okay. So if you're not showing up as your true self, what they see when they are interacting with you on through your marketing, through your social media, through your emails, through DMs, watching you on your stories, and you show up differently when people meet you in real life, that is a real communication breakdown and creates a bit of a disconnect in your brand. So, what you want to do is use AI to work smarter, not harder, but make sure you add your own flair to it, because smart business owners are embracing these tools without compromising their authenticity. And I want that for you. So, use AI to work smarter, not harder. The next one that small business owners are doing that is a quiet power move are creating content that you can repurpose over and over again. Okay. So for me, this one podcast episode fuels a week's worth of socials, web posts, blog, you name it, everything. So what this one podcast episode does is create a transcript which lives on my website. Then a blog, it then creates, I don't even know. We create, I think it's about 10 different videos from this one video. The big video goes on YouTube, and then elements of that go across Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. It then gets turned into a quote, it gets turned into carousel posts, it gets turned into video quotes that go on Pinterest. I think there is about 15 posts that go on Pinterest a week. And so it then also forms part of my weekly email. It is definitely the piece of content that gets repurposed, and takes a lot of effort to build out the one piece of content, but then that effort is consistently multiplied. Okay, and I looked at my YouTube channel the other day, and I've got a few more subscribers, and I was so pumped. My YouTube is a small and mighty YouTube channel, and it is growing all the time. And I'm nurturing it, and I'm consistent, and I love that. And so just quietly, like everything is happening, and it's really nice. So if you are just like binging my podcast through Apple or Spotify, that's fine. But it's not the only place that I share this content. And I've become a real master of repurposing. So I think that's one of my superpowers. And if you don't know how to do that with your content, I would love to have a chat with you to be able to help you, because I think that more people should be doing this, because it takes a lot of effort to make content. And so repurposing is such a beautiful way to not kill yourself, but also remain consistent, remain trustworthy, keep your authenticity, and continue to build that like factor, okay, which then obviously builds that trust factor. And that's when people start to buy from you, when they trust you, but they can't buy from you if you're not showing up consistently. Okay. So I think that less hustle and more leverage on the things that actually matter and the things that move the needle. The last one in this section is small business owners are setting boundaries around their energy, okay, and choosing where to show up, when to show up. saying no a little bit more. I definitely say that. And I think I need to because I have a finite amount of energy and I have small humans to look after. But it also helps me to build this business in a way that feels really good for me as well. And fitting in with my lifestyle, I have to check myself. This is why I have this business so that I can show up and teach small business owners in my zone of genius and what I know, but also in a way that's really flexible that fits in with my little loves. Okay. And they're the most important thing in my life. And so everything else fits around them. And it's so beautiful. So I think it doesn't matter whether you have small humans or you have fur babies or you have whatever it is that you want to spend a lot of time on, creating boundaries around how you exert your energy and who you spend time with is really important to how you show up. And I think it helps you build a business that feels good, not just looks good. Okay, so I think if you've been feeling like you're falling behind because your marketing isn't loud, this is your reminder that quiet doesn't mean ineffective. Okay, in fact, I think that most magnetic brands are being built in the quiet right now, and that's okay. So ask yourself, what quiet move could I make this week that would move the needle? What foundational piece have I been avoiding that could give me back my clarity inside of my business? And where can I simplify in my business instead of doing more? Ask yourself those three questions, and the answers might actually surprise you. And if you don't know where to start with this, I am just a reply away to be able to give you a hand. You don't need more noise, you need more intention. And that's what will set you apart from a lot of other businesses out there. I hope that's fueled you. I hope that that's inspired you to make really bold, quiet moves inside of your business. They don't need to be noisy. So, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in your ears. If this episode has resonated with you in any way, I would love it if you shared it with one of your business besties or tag me in your stories or leave me a review. And if you're nodding along thinking this is exactly what I need more of, stay tuned because I've got some exciting things brewing behind the scenes and they are built for smart, quiet power moves like these. You've got this, and I am so here for your next level. If you want more of me, come follow me on Instagram. I would love you to leave me a review, and I really hope that you have enjoyed this episode of the Hayley Osborne Show. Catch you next week, guys.